everybody. Happy, what day is today? I don't even know what day it is anymore. Wednesday, Thursday, what difference does it make? It's all the same because there's only 19, 17, something. How many? Let me figure it out. 16 more days until the end of the world. The end of the Mayan calendar. What does it mean? I don't know what it means. I'm happy to be alive today, though. You know, there's only 2 days in the entire year when it is impossible to get anything done. Yesterday and tomorrow. The only day that anything gets done is today, right now. So go to fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com, click on the longevity button and join us. What are you waiting for? $10, baby. That's what we need to get you started on the road to health and wealth. $10. Give yourself a Christmas present this year. That beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. FireYourMDNow.com is the name of the website. Fire Your MD Now is the name of the radio show. The call-in number, 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. And the callers are already lined up, so we're just going to get right to it today with Elizabeth from Kansas City calling with a question about hearing. Elizabeth, thanks so much for the call. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden. This is Elizabeth from Missouri, and I'm 72 years old, and I lost my hearing about 6 months ago in my left ear. I've had an MRI. I've had my carotids ultrasound, and nothing has shown up. You know, they can't find any reason for this hearing loss. Now, I do have sound there, but it's all garbled.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever been diagnosed with osteoporosis?
Well, I was supposed to have osteopenia. I had a test like that several years ago, but I take Synthroid, which I think causes bone loss, right?
Yeah. Well, all right. So it can. Now, do you have a thyroid?
Yes, I do.
Your thyroid gland is still present. All right. So Synthroid, we're going to talk about Synthroid first because there's something that you can do that will help. And then I'm going to tell you my take on the hearing loss, okay?
Okay.
So your thyroid makes a number of different hormones. The two of the most important hormones that the thyroid gland makes is called thyroid hormone 3, T3, and thyroid hormone 4, T4. Synthroid is T4. That's all that it is. It's just T4. Now, interestingly,
I'm also on Armor.
You're also on
10% of that and 90% of Synthroid.
All right, so that's not enough. But now, Synthroid is mostly it's all T4. There's no T3 in it. Armor Thyroid is a little bit of T3 and a little bit of T4. Your body prefers T3 to T4, and T3 is 400% more effective than T4 is. T3 is 400% more effective than T4. T3, T4, oh my God. But in order for your body to make T3 from T4, which it can do, it needs the mineral selenium. So if anybody's taking Synthroid in the listening audience, if you simply supplement the Synthroid prescription with the mineral selenium, you will dramatically increase its effectiveness. And, you know, if I was the king of the world, it would be mandatory. Well, first of all, there wouldn't be any Synthroid if I was the king of the world, because Armor Thyroid is superior in every way, shape, and form to Synthroid. But, you know, all things being equal, since you're taking Synthroid, all you need to do to augment its activity is take some selenium. And the recommendation for selenium supplementation in this regard, Elizabeth, is 1 bottle of Ultimate Selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. So if you're 150 pounds, you need 3. If you're 100 pounds, you need 2 bottles a month of selenium. And see if simply by adding selenium into your daily routine, it doesn't increase the effectiveness of the Synthroid. I bet you're going to experience that it does. And this will translate to increased energy, more stable mood, and perhaps weight loss if that's an issue for you. Now,
okay, would that protect my bones as well with adding more selenium?
yes, it will, but what we need to do to protect your bones is different than that, all right?
Okay.
Because remember, this is a comprehensive, holistic program, and one of the main causes of deafness in people who are over 65, especially, if you've had all this diagnostic stuff and everything seems normal, quote unquote, the most common cause of deafness is osteoporosis of the skull or osteopenia of the skull. Because there's a little nerve that goes to your eardrum that comes directly off of the brain, and it goes through your eardrum in order to help you hear. Mm-hmm. It's called the cochlear nerve, and to get to the eardrum, it has to go through a tunnel in the skull. Now, when your skull bone is strong and hard because it has all the minerals and all the calcium that it needs, the walls of the tunnel are nice and intact. But when you start to run out of minerals and you become osteopenic or you develop osteoporosis, the walls of that tunnel start to collapse. And your body knows that this isn't good, because if it collapses all the way, you're going to go deaf completely, or you're going to go dumb, or you're going to go blind, because there are 10 other nerves that come off of the brain as well and go to your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and throat. So when things start to go south in the integrity of the little tunnel in the skull, your body shores the tunnel up with connective tissue. It sticks connective tissue in there to keep the tunnel from collapsing. Now, there shouldn't be any connective tissue in there, but when there is, it invariably rubs up against the nerve, causing all kinds of trouble and interference with the transmission of the nerve impulses. So, what I would do for 90 days is go on an aggressive nutritional program that supports and promotes the health of your bones, and see what happens, or in your case, hear what happens. So, how much do you weigh, Elizabeth?
150.
Okay. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
And is 150 pounds a good weight for you?
No. I should lose about 20 pounds.
All right. Well, that's not your fault.
Can I tell you a couple other things?
Yeah, go ahead.
I also have, I just was recently had an x-ray on my hip, and I've had this pain, and I have a bone spur in my hip.
Yeah, a bone spur in the hip is caused by the same thing that causes the osteoporosis of the skull. It's chronic calcium loss.
Uh-huh. And I take a lot of calcium.
Well, look, here's the deal. Most calcium, over-the-counter calcium supplements, in order for you to absorb all of the calcium that your body needs on a daily basis from most over-the-counter calcium supplements, and I've calculated this, you're going to need to swallow between 40 and 60 of the calcium pills a day.
Oh, wow.
Most people take 3. Because the problem with nutritional supplements is the recipe and the formulation. Really, Elizabeth, nutritional supplements are like chicken soup. Now, my mother's chicken soup was awesome. And it was 1,000 times better than chicken soup in the can at the supermarket, right? Well, hey, what's the difference? Oh, the recipe's the difference. Well, it's the same with vitamins. When you take a calcium supplement that's absorbable, that your body actually gets therapeutic doses of calcium from it, it's a game changer. You feel different. So the hip problem and the hearing problem ostensibly are 2 arms of the same octopus.
I thought they might be.
And all we need to do is give your body some aggressive nutritional supplementation. So at 150 pounds, do you have pain in the hip? Is it a painful thing for you?
Yes. I just recently quit eating citrus. I had an orange every morning. I cut that. I read that it's bad for arthritis, so it's doing a little better since I quit that.
All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the pain like in the hip?
Well, it's probably 4 to 5.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So here's what I'd like you to do for the first 90 days, okay? The first month, I want you to buy 2 healthy bone and joint packs. 2 healthy bone and joint packs. The next month, I want you to buy 1 healthy bone and joint pack. 1 healthy bone and joint pack. And the third month, I want you to go back to 2 healthy bone and joint packs.
Okay.
And also in the second month only, I would like you to get 1 extra bottle of glucogel in the 240 count. Glucogel in the 240 count. Now, plus you're going to be doing selenium, so you need, in addition to those supplements every month, in the first month, the second month, and the third month, 3 bottles each month of Ultimate Selenium. Okay? And here's how I would like you to take the stuff. And I'm just going to line this all up for you. Beyond Tangy Tangerine, red powder. I want you to take 1 scoop.
I have taken that before.
All right, I want you to take 1 scoop in 12 ounces of water 3 times a day, and I want you to take at least an hour to drink it down each time. 1 scoop in 12 ounces of water 3 times a day, taking at least an hour to drink each dose down. The white liquid calcium, the Osteo FX Plus, I'd like you to take a tablespoon in the morning, in a little bit of orange juice, and I'd like you to do a full ounce before bed, again in a little bit of orange juice. A tablespoon in the morning and an ounce at night of the white liquid calcium.
Is that like 2 tablespoons at night?
Yeah, 2 tablespoons at night, correct. All right. The next thing is the glucogel. I want you to do 8 capsules a day. That's 4 with breakfast and 4 with lunch. 4 glucogel with breakfast and 4 glucogel with lunch.
4 with breakfast, 4 with lunch.
Or 4 with lunch and 4 with dinner, 4 twice a day with a meal.
Twice a day?
Yeah, 8 for a total of 8 a day. The next thing is the EFAs. I'd like you to take 2 with lunch and 2 with dinner. 2 of the EFAs with lunch and 2 of the EFAs with dinner. And the last thing is the Ultimate Selenium. I want you to take 6 of those a day, 2 with breakfast, 2 with lunch, and 2 with dinner. So dial that in, Elizabeth, for a couple of months and call me back with a report right around the 21st day, the 3rd week. I'd love to hear how it's going. You know what that is, ladies and gentlemen? That's the sound of the big pharma sneaking up on you, trying to get you to take a prescription medicine that you don't need. That's why we chose that music. It should make you feel a little nervous. That's how you should feel every time you think of your MD, unless, of course, you're bleeding to death or have some type of trauma, because that's their wheelhouse. Everything else makes you should be horrified to even utter the words MD. Remember in the Harry Potter, you couldn't even say the word Voldemort? Well, that's how it should be. We shouldn't even be allowed to say the word MD, because it should make you horrified. Leading cause of death in the United States, MD-directed medicine. Leading cause of bankruptcy, MD-directed medicine. For goodness sake, ladies and gentlemen, snap out of it. Fire your MD and fire him now. For goodness sake, it's that easy. Now, Elizabeth, if you're still listening, I wanted to add one more thing. There's in the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, which I'm recommending you get, there's a product called CM Cream, like Charlie Michaels, CM Cream. And I want you to apply that topically a couple times a day to the parts of your body that are experiencing arthritic pain. Now, the CM cream has been studied at universities around the United States, and it has an over 90% effectiveness. I mean, it's over 90% effective at helping to knock down pain and inflammation of arthritis. And it's non-addictive, it's non-habit forming, it doesn't do anything bad to you. You can use it as much as you want. So use the CM cream topically to help knock down the pain while we are attempting to fix it from the inside out. And remember, everybody who's suffering with a chronic health condition is recommended to eliminate the 10 bad foods from their diet immediately. And that includes you, Elizabeth, and everybody else who's listening. So no wheat, no barley, no rye, no oats, no oil in a bottle, no fried food, no well-done red meat, no nitrates added as preservatives to meat, no skins of baked potatoes, yams, or sweet potatoes, and no carbonated beverages with a meal. To get that list, simply go to fireyourmdnow.com and opt in for my free monthly newsletter. Opt in for my free monthly newsletter. What could be better than free? I don't know. It's a free monthly newsletter, and when you click on the submit button, my website automatically sends you, don't you love technology, it automatically sends you an email with a link to a hidden page on my website that has a little video that I put together explaining why wheat, barley, rye, and oats are so bad. It also has a link for the good food, bad food list. It's free. Check it out at fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com. We're going to go right back to the phones now. David from Mississippi is on the phone with a question, I think, about his wife. Welcome aboard, David. You are live. All right. Hello, David.
Am I on?
Yes, sir. You're right here with
Okay.
me. Thanks so much.
Dr. Glidden, it's good to talk to you. I'm calling because my wife has been suffering from just a myriad of issues for, well, at least ever since I've known her. She was diagnosed with fibromyalgia when she was 19, and her symptom list just keeps growing. We've got about 23 symptoms that we've compiled a list of that we've been to, I don't know how many doctors, neurologists, gastroenterologists, but just regular doctors, and everyone seems to think that there's nothing wrong.
And has she gotten any relief from any of these conditions?
The only thing that has helped whatsoever is the combination of 2 antidepressants that they put her on.
Yeah, okay.
And that hasn't helped with the pain. That's just helped her mood.
All right, so we're going to come up against a hard break here, David, in a minute and a half. So I'm going to rant on this for a little bit. You stick with me. I'll pick you up on the other side of the break, and I'll tell you what I would recommend you do to intervene here. So isn't this typical, ladies and gentlemen? And you're paying for this. You are paying for access to this type of medicine. You're in pain. You've been in pain since you were 16. You got a laundry list of symptoms. You go to the MD, the knuckle-headed, pig-headed, close-minded MD. They run all of these tests, charge you all this money, and they can't find anything wrong. Therefore, it can't be their ineptitude. It can't be their incompetence that's the problem. It's yours. You're making it up. It's got to be psychological. It's got to be psychological because we, the great and powerful Oz, could not find anything wrong. Well, I'm not surprised you couldn't find anything wrong, you knucklehead, because you're a colorblind art critic. You don't even know that you're colorblind. You miss the obvious all the time, and people in this country suffer and die because of your ineptitude. Fire them. Fire your MD now. Cancel your damn medical insurance. Buy catastrophic coverage instead, and write a letter to your medical board of your state and say, you guys stink at what you do. I'm opting out. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to the podcast, 855-347-3696 is the number to call for information. And if you're not already involved with the longevity and you like the information that I'm disseminating over this phone and you'd actually like to check the products out, it's the same number. Give my helpful, friendly, knowledgeable staff a call at 855-347-3696. They'll help you sort it all out and give you the wholesale price. And that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Now, we're talking to David from Mississippi about an egregious medical failure with his wife. She's got a laundry list of problems. The MDs have told her it's all in her head. And, you know, nothing infuriates me more than incompetence. Well, there's one thing that infuriates me more than incompetence. It's MD incompetence. Because they hold themselves out to be the authors of health. They hold themselves out to be the grand poobahs of health, right? They have a lot of social cachet. They have a lot of, props. They've got a lot of positive stuff that comes along for the ride socially, being an MD, right? All of this elevated social status. And when you have all of those good things and you stink at what you do, it's horrible. Especially when other people's lives are negatively affected by your incompetence. David, are you still with me?
I am.
All right, good. So look, have you ever had tequila, David?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, if you drink tequila, you feel better, right? I mean,
not necessarily.
Well, if you drink too much tequila, you're going to feel bad. But, my point is, if you drink alcohol, especially hard liquor, it changes your mood. That's why people drink. They want to feel better. They want to get away from the stress of life. Well, antidepressants are no different. Alcohol affects your brain chemistry. It does. So do antidepressants. They affect your brain chemistry. And giving somebody an antidepressant for a situation like this is tantamount to telling them, just go have a couple drinks, you'll feel better. But because it's coming from the lips of an MD, we just kind of bow down and genuflect and think to ourselves, oh, they must know more than we do. And in point of fact, they don't. So,
and they've actually told her to think positively, and that should help.
Yeah, isn't that something? And we're actually paying for access to this type of nonsense. Can you believe that? I mean, really, can you believe that?
No.
I can't believe it either. And now Obama's gonna, there's a lot of stuff about Obama that I like, quite frankly. I'm neither a Democrat nor a Republican. Was born and raised a Democrat in New England, but, I don't like the Democratic Party anymore. I don't like the Republican Party anymore. I'm kind of halfway on board with the Tea Party people, but not so much. It's just one big freaking giant mess. But look, man, if Obamacare happens, what's going to happen, one of the results is that it's going to be mandatory that everybody in the United States buy health insurance that gives us access to this type of incompetence and this type of nonsense. Everybody in this country except you and me, David, and everybody else who listens to this show and everybody else who's a member of Longevity is deeply embedded in the medical matrix myth of the mediocre MD. And quite frankly, it is a travesty of biblical proportions. Now, let's get right to it here. Whenever I see somebody who has been suffering for a long time with a whole laundry list of problems, what I recommend for the first 90 days is generic, boilerplate medical nutrition delivered in an aggressive fashion. Clean up the diet, stop eating the 10 bad foods, step out of the way, and see how far back the body comes. It's kind of like if we were in a harbor on a sailboat trying to, navigate our way through the harbor, but all of a sudden we were in a thick fog. We wouldn't know where to go or how to go because we're in a thick fog. Can't even see your hand in front of your face. You're going to throw the anchor over and wait until the fog clears. Well, before we start getting crazy with, diagnostic testing and diagnostic, theoretical nonsense, the best thing to do is burn some of that fog away, if not all of it, with fundamental boilerplate medical nutrition. So that's what I'm going to recommend you do for your wife, David. How much does she weigh, approximately?
She had gotten up to about 250, which has been, it's been increasing over the last 2 years since our last child was born. And I started her on the Healthy Start Pack 2 months ago, and she lost about 14 pounds. And so she wanted to try the weight management pack, so we switched over to that, and we haven't really checked it since then. But so about 235.
Okay, all right. So one of the reasons that people gain weight, actually the only reason that people gain weight, or like the majority of the reason that people gain weight, is because they're nutritionally starved. And when your body is nutritionally starved, right, it knows it's nutritionally starved, and it makes you eat in the desperate attempt to fulfill the nutrition that your body needs, but the food that you're eating doesn't have the nutrients. So you eat and you eat and you eat and you eat, and you're still hungry because your body is not nutritionally satisfied. So you gain weight. All right, so here's what I'm going to recommend she does for 90 days. I'd like to switch it out to the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. The Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. In a perfect world, she'd be taking 2 Healthy Blood Sugar Packs a month. If you can't afford that, then give her 1 Healthy Blood Sugar Pack a month. But I want her to take 4 bottles of selenium a month, 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, in addition to the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. Don't worry about the weight management stuff. What I would counsel her to do, and you and your neighbors and everybody in the world, is to eliminate the 10 bad foods from the diet. Just do that. Have your whole family eliminate those 10 foods from your diet and start now, start today, when she eliminates wheat, barley, rye, and oats, if she hasn't already, she's going to continue the lovely stroll down weight loss lane, and life is going to be good. And when she should also start to educate herself about what 1,200 calories a day looks like. And when she feels up to it, after, her strength starts to come back and her complaints start to die away after a couple of more weeks or months on medical nutrition, when she feels up to it, she can start to dial in the 1,200 calorie a day routine. And when she dials in a 1,200 calorie a day routine while she's taking the healthy blood sugar pack and the selenium, she's going to lose about a pound a week. And honestly, I would much rather see somebody lose a pound a week than I would a pound a day. And that's a topic for a whole nother time. But fibromyalgia specifically is a horrible illness because it's not that easy to diagnose. It's it's painful all the time. And it's, again, one of life's greatest ironies because the veterinarian kingdom eliminated fibromyalgia over 30 years ago. When fibromyalgia happens in sheep, it's called white muscle disease. And how do veterinarians eliminate it? They give the sheep who has fibromyalgia an injection of selenium, and it goes away. So anybody that even thinks they've had fibromyalgia needs to be on the ultimate selenium. The recommendation at her body weight would be 4 ultimate selenium a month. If you can afford it, 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month, but if you can't afford that, fall back to 1 healthy blood sugar pack a month and eliminate the 10 bad foods from her diet. Does that sound good?
Okay. I'll give it a try.
All right, man, David. Thanks so much for calling. Give it a try. Call me back with an update. And most of the people that I have seen who have either a definitive or a presumptive diagnosis of fibromyalgia, when we put them on a program that supports and promotes the health of their body to fix itself, the recovery from the pain of that illness is often remarkable. And remember, there's only 2 circumstances under which medical nutrition doesn't work. Either you're not taking enough or you're not absorbing what you're taking. And how do we facilitate absorption? We facilitate absorption by eliminating the 10 bad foods from the diet and making sure that we're salting our food so that it tastes good. That's right, folks. Table salt is one of the most important condiments you can take. I recommend everybody salts their food every day, and everybody also flush down the toilet any type of antacid and any type of cholesterol-lowering medication, because there is no relationship between cholesterol and heart disease. It does not exist. Menon is up next. Menon calling in from Atlanta with, interestingly, a question about cholesterol. Thanks a lot, Menon. You are live.
Thank you, Doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. I have a friend. I'm helping him, and he is in Healthy Start Park right now. He just started 4 weeks ago, and he have cholesterol and diabetic. So what else advice you can give me?
He had a cholesterol what?
He had a cholesterol and also type 2 diabetic.
Well, do you know how high his cholesterol was?
Oh, I'm not sure, but he is taking a pill for the cholesterol.
Yeah, so this gets to be a somewhat complicated issue because we really part companies with the MDs. The research just does not support and promote the use of cholesterol-lowering medications. There's no relationship between between cholesterol and heart disease. It doesn't exist. The MDs have simply gotten this wrong. So, unless his cholesterol is like over 400, then it's not high. It's just not high. So I don't think he has a cholesterol problem. If he has a type 2 diabetes problem, was that the other problem, Menon? Did you say type 2 diabetes also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so to support and promote somebody's body in the face of a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, in order to support and promote the health of the body, the recommendation is simple. It's 1 healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, plus avoidance of the 10 bad foods. He needs to stop eating the 10 bad foods. Now, as an extra addition to the diet of somebody who's dealing with blood sugar that's too high, the recommendation is, until the blood sugars normalize, in addition to eliminating the 10 bad foods, I also want them to eliminate anything that has extra sugar in it for, until the blood sugars normalize. So no fruit. How about that? No fruit juice. No honey, no maple syrup, no agave, no molasses, no desserts, no ice cream, no nothing that has sugar in it. Zero tolerance for anything that has extracurricular sugar in it. Now, if you want to have something that has stevia in it, no problem. You want to have something that has sucralose in it, no problem. You want to have something that has xylitol in it. These are non-glycemic sweeteners, no problem. But anything that has extra sugars in it, I want these people to avoid completely until the blood sugars normalize. And the most important thing that someone who's supporting and promoting the health of their body with nutrition in the face of a blood sugar problem, the most important thing for them to do is to be measuring their blood sugars diligently every day. Because as the blood sugar numbers come down, which they invariably will, they need to adjust their medication appropriately or go back to their healthcare practitioner and have them adjust their medications appropriately until they don't need the medication anymore. And then I want them to tell their doctor, once they don't need the medication anymore, "Doctor, I have an eye problem." "Oh, really?" the doctor will say. "What's the matter?" "I can't see you anymore, you knucklehead. You're fired. I fixed the blood sugar problem that you were managing. You are fired." 866-582-9933 is the number to call. Thanks a lot, men, and you're the greatest. Keep up the good work down there. Everybody in Atlanta needs your help, so get out there and go and get them. Ever had one of those feelings, ladies and gentlemen, that, you knew stuff that nobody else knew, that you had a clue when other people didn't, that, you had the secret decoder ring and nobody else did? Well, that's the feeling that you get when you're involved with Youngevity's as a distributor, because you start promoting Youngevity's nutritional support formulations and you'll see remarkable results. I mean, remarkable results. It'll make your head spin right off your shoulders. And the longer that you do it and the more that you do it, you will see firsthand the illusion of the MD gets peeled back slowly and slowly and slowly every month until their utter hypocrisy is revealed to you in boldface. Again, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but I was a Harry Potter fan, and it's just like, Voldemort was this big, nasty, horrible, demonic person, and then when it was all said and done, when they got rid of him and Harry was there with, I'm having a senior moment, in the afterworld, and Voldemort was this little whimpering, sad little thing underneath the table. Well, that's just what the MDs are like. There's these little whimpering, sad little things. They're completely clueless. There is absolutely no reason to put them on a pedestal. So stop it, wake up, get on board with Youngevity, and change the world. Got time for one more phone call. I think Lane is giving us a call from Oklahoma, maybe someplace like that. Thanks for calling, Lane. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. Thanks for taking my call. My wife and I signed up as distributors under you about 3 months ago, and I have a client of mine that I need your help with.
Shoot.
And if I can go through just kind of a list of some of his problems, and then after that, maybe some of the medications he's on, and maybe you can help me out with it. But he's 78 years old, he's 210 pounds, he's got high blood pressure, diabetes type 2, partially blocked artery, glaucoma, and he had cataract implants. He's got BPH. He's got photosensitivity in his eyes, and he has right hand tremors. And after about 8 o'clock at night, he cannot hold his eyes open. I mean, they're just shut. And he's not asleep. He just can't open his eyes.
Okay. All right. All right, so that's enough to start with, and I don't really care about the meds, okay, because that's kind of outside of our domain anyway. But look, man, I mean, right? He's got all this stuff, and he's had all this stuff for all these years, and nobody's been able to fix it, and we're okay with that. He's okay with that. The medical system plods on with complete incompetence. Would we accept this type of incompetence in any other industry? No. We wouldn't. If Ford Motor Company made automobiles that fell apart, another piece fell off the car every year, would we accept that? No, they'd be out of business. But MDs screw up all the time, and we keep going back to them. So the reason that he's falling asleep at night most probably is related to the blood sugar issue. The blood sugar issue, so that's where we're going to start. Because unless we get people feeling better energy-wise, we're really kind of, it's a fool's errand. So at 210 pounds, I'd like to see him start at 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. And also 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium a month. 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium a month, and as much triple treat chocolate as he can possibly afford. Oh, one more thing. 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules. All right? So that's 2 healthy blood sugar packs, 4 Ultimate Selenium, 1 Ultimate Daily Capsules, and as much triple treat chocolate as he can afford. Now, even though he's 78 years old, he also needs to avoid the 10 bad foods. And, this is the hardest thing to get the elderly enrolled in because, they just don't want to change their diet. But get a copy of Dr. Wallach's CD, Serial Killer. Have him listen to that, and maybe that will help to convince him to actively take steps in changing his diet. Give him the 2 healthy blood sugar packs, the 4 selenium, the Ultimate Daily Caps, and as much triple treat chocolate as he can afford, and watch the magic happen. Every 2 weeks, you should start to see noticeable improvement in him. Make sure he checks his blood sugars every day, because as they come down, he's going to need to adjust that medication, and the same goes for the blood pressure. I want him checking the blood pressure and the blood sugar every day, and as the numbers come down, he adjusts the medication, and then he fires his MD. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.